They laughed at the little black girl standing in the bank, but no one expected what happened when she checked her balance. Zara Thompson stepped into the grand bank lobby, her small hands clutching the tablet tightly, heart racing but eyes steady. The polished floors reflected her determined gaze as she scanned rows of towering counters and bustling employees. "I just want to see my balance," she said, voice calm but piercing, standing before Gregory Hawthorne, the millionaire who thought he ruled every room he entered. He laughed aloud, leaning back, amused at what he believed was a child's joke, his superiority evident in every smirk. Behind him, Lydia Banks raised an eyebrow, curious but cautious. Zara ignored their judgment, her focus unwavering as the tablet blinked to life. The numbers appeared, bigger than anyone expected, and suddenly Gregory's laughter froze, replaced by shock and disbelief. Eyes from every corner of the lobby followed silently, some in awe, some in confusion. Mr. Carter, quietly observing from the back, felt a surge of pride at Zara's courage. This wasn't just about money, it was a moment of power, respect, and revelation. The whispers of doubt and underestimation faded into silence as Zara's steady gaze met Gregory's. A challenge was born. Who truly held control here? The answer was only just beginning to reveal itself. Subscribe to watch the full video and witness how Zara turns the tables. Comment your thoughts below. Zara Thompson didn't blink as the entire bank seemed to pause, all eyes locked on the small girl who had just stunned Gregory Hawthorne, the self-proclaimed ruler of wealth and influence, into silence. She stepped forward, tablet held confidently, fingers brushing over the screen as if she owned not just the numbers but the entire room, while Gregory's face shifted from disbelief to frustration, a vein of anger forming at the corner of his temple, his pride wounded by a child who dared challenge his assumptions. And yet, Zara remained calm, calculating each reaction with precision that belied her age. Knowing that every smirk and judgmental glance from Lydia Banks and other employees could be turned into leverage if she stayed poised. And behind her, Mr. Carter watched silently, a quiet guardian, proud of her courage, but aware that the next move could determine whether Zara's boldness became a lesson or a disaster, while Gregory straightened, adjusting his expensive cufflinks, clearing his throat as if to reassert dominance. But the words caught in his throat because Zara had already anticipated every possible response, and she spoke again, not loudly but firmly, articulating each sentence with clarity, forcing the millionaire to listen, forcing the room to acknowledge that wealth did not automatically equal respect, that power could be held in manners, in intelligence, in unshakable self-belief. And as whispers spread through the lobby, other clients turned their heads, intrigued by this confrontation, some nodding silently. Some shocked at Gregory's vulnerability, and Lydia Banks felt a mix of admiration and nervousness, wondering how someone so young could command such attention, while Gregory's jaw tightened, the air thick with tension, the silence stretching uncomfortably as he realized that his next words could either restore his ego or destroy his credibility entirely. And Zara, sensing the moment, let the tablet glow softly, numbers reflecting not just wealth, but the validation of patience, intelligence, and quiet strength, and she finally stepped back, meeting Gregory's gaze with unwavering courage, letting the room settle on the unspoken truth that sometimes the underestimated held more power than the powerful believed. And Mr. Carter exhaled quietly, knowing that the battle had only begun, that the real challenge of breaking prejudices, of showing respect and dismantling assumptions, was yet to come, and he smiled faintly, proud that Zara had already taken the first monumental step toward winning not just attention, but recognition, control, and the undeniable lesson that respect could not be bought. It had to be earned, and earned wisely, and he whispered silently, "This is only the beginning." Subscribe to see how Zara continues to turn the tables, and comment your thoughts below. Zara Thompson took a deep breath as the hum of murmurs filled the bank lobby, every eye now fixed on the small girl whose courage had already shaken the pride of Gregory Hawthorne, and she could feel the weight of the room's anticipation pressing on her. Yet she remained calm, her mind working faster than any adult in the room, calculating every word, every gesture, every micro-expression, knowing that Gregory's arrogance made him predictable, and he shifted uneasily. Leaning against the polished counter, fingers tapping impatiently, his expensive watch catching the daylight streaming through the glass windows, his lips forming a tight line as he tried to regain composure while Lydia Banks, poised but skeptical, jotted notes, her pen trembling slightly as she sensed that the situation was rapidly evolving beyond her control. And Mr. Carter, standing quietly behind Zara, offered a subtle nod of reassurance, signaling that he trusted her instincts and her plan. And with a small, confident step forward, Zara placed the tablet on the counter, numbers glowing softly on the screen, reflecting not just wealth but strategy, foresight, and the undeniable truth that intelligence and courage could outweigh even the loudest displays of arrogance. And she spoke, her voice steady yet carrying the weight of experience far beyond her 11 years, outlining every detail of the account, every calculation. Every discrepancy that Gregory had overlooked in his rush to assume superiority, and the room leaned in, clients and employees alike, sensing the tension, the challenge, the unspoken battle of wit and perception, while Gregory's face turned red, a mixture of fury and disbelief, his mind scrambling for an angle, a way to assert dominance, but every attempt faltered because Zara anticipated it, countering each objection with clarity, poise, and quiet authority. And the murmurs grew into whispers, whispers into sharp glances, glances into a palpable tension that filled every corner of the bank. And as he finally opened his mouth to speak, the words came out hollow, clumsy, and desperate, betraying a man who realized that a child had outmaneuvered him not through wealth, not through force, but through intellect, confidence, and moral courage. And Lydia Banks finally exhaled, realizing she had witnessed something extraordinary. A lesson in humility disguised as a confrontation, and Mr. Carter's eyes glistened with pride, seeing Zara's fearlessness, her ability to turn skepticism and prejudice into an opportunity to educate and inspire. And just as Gregory attempted one last feeble display of arrogance, the room's atmosphere shifted, clients nodding, employees murmuring approval, a subtle ripple of acknowledgement that respect was not given, it was earned. And Zara, sensing the perfect moment, smiled slightly. Her eyes locking with Gregory, not with malice, but with the unwavering assertion that she would never be underestimated, that her courage, her brilliance, and her determination were forces no amount of money or status could suppress. And in that instant, the bank became more than a place of transactions. It became a stage for lessons in equality, intelligence, and the dismantling of prejudice. And Mr. Carter whispered quietly, "This is the moment they will never forget," as Zara's presence radiated authority, calm, and the unshakable confidence that she was destined to change perceptions forever. And the air seemed charged with possibility, a reminder that courage and brilliance could be found in even the youngest and seemingly weakest among us. And this chapter was only the beginning of a journey that would leave everyone in awe. And for those watching, don't forget to comment how you would react in this moment, and subscribe for the next part to see how Zara continues to turn the tables on prejudice and power. Zara Thompson felt the weight of every gaze in the bank as she prepared to take the final step in proving her brilliance, the air thick with anticipation and subtle disbelief. And Gregory Hawthorne, still reeling from the revelations of the previous confrontation, tried desperately to regain composure, his usual arrogance faltering as he realized that mere wealth could no longer shield him from being outmaneuvered by an 11-year-old, while Lydia Banks adjusted her glasses, her pen hovering uncertainly above the ledger as she noted the calculations Zara had presented, understanding more clearly than ever that intelligence, courage, and determination were not bound by age or social status. And Mr. Carter, standing firmly behind Zara, offered an encouraging nod, a silent affirmation of trust as she stepped forward, placing her hand gently on the tablet. And with calm authority, she outlined a flawless plan, projecting not just numbers but insight, foresight, an undeniable logic that highlighted discrepancies in Gregory's assumptions and demonstrated the strength of diligence, knowledge, and ethical conduct. And the clients in the lobby leaned in, sensing the tension escalating into an electrifying confrontation, while Gregory's face contorted between rage and awe, his mind scrambling for words that could salvage his pride. Yet each argument he attempted was met with Zara's poised and precise explanations, dismantling every biased assumption and exposing the flaws in his judgments. And the murmurs among the employees and customers grew, a mixture of admiration and shock, as they witnessed a young girl command a room with intelligence and confidence that belied her age. And Lydia, finally allowing herself to exhale, felt a deep respect forming as she realized she had observed a rare moment where courage and intellect overcame prejudice and entitlement. And Mr. Carter's eyes glistened with pride. Seeing Zara transform skepticism into opportunity, and as Zara concluded her presentation, her calm, unwavering voice resonating in the room, Gregory Hawthorne finally sat back, defeated, recognizing that wealth could not compensate for arrogance when faced with truth, skill, and determination, and a silence fell, heavy yet reverent, as everyone absorbed the lesson in humility, respect, and the power of unseen potential, and Zara looked around, smiling subtly. Knowing she had not just proven her point, but had inspired those present, showing that no one should be underestimated based on age, race, or appearance, and the room seemed charged with a newfound sense of possibility and hope, a reminder that bravery and intelligence could change perceptions and even dismantle prejudice. And as the tension dissolved, whispers of admiration and acknowledgement spread, the once intimidating figure of Gregory now humbled and aware that true respect is earned. And Zara turned to Mr. Carter with a confident nod, signaling that this victory was not about confrontation, but about teaching, learning, and inspiring. And as the camera panned out for those watching this story unfold, remember to comment how Zara's courage inspires you, subscribe to follow her journey and witness more moments where brilliance and bravery overcome bias, and always remember the lesson. Never underestimate the young, the bold, or the determined, for they hold the power to change the world.